Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commenttary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! Hello and good evening and welcome along to the Commenttary Hub's coverage of the Champions League. Thursday night and it's Champions League night here on the Commenttary Hub. League phase Matchday 1 is Newcastle United taking on Spanish giants Barcelona. I'm your match host tonight, Russ Vernon, and I'll be presenting the coverage tonight. And before we get the headline team news for our featured game this evening, there's been a couple of early games in the Champions League tonight, and this is how the Champions League scores are for tonight. All the scores they can see from Frankfurt down kick off at 8 o'clock. Those games, well, the earlier results finished Club Brugge 4, Monaco 1 and Copenhagen 2, Bayer Leverkusen 2 is the results there, and we'll keep you updated at half-time and full-time with the other scores on the doors for the other matches. And we'll also be going across a ticker, which you'll see a little bit later on your screen during the game as well. Right then, tonight's game sees Barcelona travel to St James's Park to take on Newcastle United. Man in the commentary box standing by for us is Paul James, who will now go through the headline team news for Barcelona and Newcastle. So for Newcastle, good evening, Paul. What's the headline team news for both Newcastle and Barcelona this evening?
All right, well, let's take a look at the Newcastle team changes first. There is only one following their victory over Wolves at the weekend. Nick Voltemada drops to the bench and Anthony Gordon slips into that number 9 role. For Barcelona, they are on change from their 6-0 victory over Valencia. So back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much there, Paul. So there's the headline team news that you've just seen there on your screen with the starting lineups going through the headline team news for the game this evening. So Newcastle United taking on Barcelona in the Champions League this evening. We'll also keep you updated at half-time and full-time with the other scores, classified checks on half-time and full-time with yours truly doing the classified checks. The teams are getting ready to come out of the stadium at St James's Park, which is full to the rafters for a big night for Newcastle back in the Champions League. Not an empty seat in the house, I can see, and this should be a good game. Before we get to the kick-off very, very shortly and bring you the full team news in full in just a moment with Paul James, let's just bring in your match commentator once again, who's standing by for us. And Paul, very good evening to you once again, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well this evening. Just want to ask you then on the team news, obviously Newcastle making that one change with Gordon coming into the starting lineup. Are you surprised that Nick Voltemada is not starting for Newcastle in the Champions League this evening?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he's not, but maybe they want to rest him. It's gone very well. He got a goal in his first game for Newcastle, so that's starting as he means to go on. But for Barcelona, obviously, they're missing key players with Lamine Yamal, who's been out for a little bit now with a back injury. And that is a massive loss for Barcelona, of course. And also along their injuries as well includes Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the goalkeeper. He's out with a back injury, and Xavi is also out with a knee injury. Key players for Barcelona missing, and Ferran Torres is on the bench tonight, so there is some firepower there for Barcelona as well.
Yes, absolutely. When you look at this Newcastle side, are you surprised that, obviously you've mentioned you're surprised that Nick Voltemada is not starting tonight for Newcastle United? He's gone for Anthony Gordon. Are you surprised with Gordon through the middle tonight and rather than out on the wings, or if Voldemort weren't playing, would you have expected Gordon to play through the middle, Paul, for you?
No, Gordon, I would have expected him to play perhaps out on the left-hand side. Voltemada through the middle, because he's an out-and-out striker. He's not somebody that plays out on the wings. He hasn't done that for Germany either. He's always played in the number 9 role when he has played for Germany. So I think it's just a swap here, and they've decided to go with Anthony Gordon down the middle. It's a difficult game against Barcelona, so I am very surprised, but Premier League returns at the weekend, and things don't get any easier for Newcastle.
Absolutely not, Paul, absolutely. We're listening right now to see what comes up at the weekend before we get into the full match commentary for tonight's game on Saturday evening. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock for that one at Craven Cottage. Fulham taking on Brentford for that one. Make sure you join us for the London derby there in what's going to be a big game down at the Cottage there. So then, without further ado, one final thing for me to ask our match commentator Paul. You know what the question is, Paul. Prediction time. Can the Magpies get past the big Spanish giants in Barcelona tonight?
I think it's extremely unlikely. I think even without Lamine Yamal and Javi, I still think Barcelona have a very, very strong squad. Rafinha, Robert Lewandowski's we all know how good he is in front of goal. It's going to be a very, very hard night for Newcastle United. I don't think they'll be blown away, but I think they're going to go down 2-0 tonight.
Yes, I was just about to ask you just one final one. Do you think if Newcastle were to win, Paul, tonight, do you think this crowd could be the reason behind it, the packed St James's Park?
Well, it's always a noisy place to come to, is St James's Park. The fans here are fantastic. My opinion, the best in the country. There's always a large capacity crowd here. They live and die for Newcastle in this city, so they're almost like a 12th man for the Magpies.
Yes, absolutely then, Paul. So without further ado, the teams are out. We're going to kick off. The Champions League music's being played as well. So without further ado, let's hand over to your match commentator to guide you through the first 45 minutes of St James's Park this evening. It's Newcastle United against Barcelona in the company of Paul James.
Good evening and welcome to a cold night in Newcastle. Eddie Howe has decided to go with a fairly strong lineup for this game, starting with Nick Pope in goal. The back four is Tino Livramento, Dan Burn, Fabian Schär and Kieran Trippier. The three in midfield are fairly familiar by this stage, are Joel Linton, Sandros Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, with Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon in the number 9 role for Nick Voltemata, and Anthony Alanga as well, the signing from Nottingham Forest. For Barcelona, well, it's a challenging game for them tonight, but they've got a very strong squad out. João Garcia in goal. The back four is Gerard Martin, Pau Sabasi, Ronald Araujo, Jules Koundé, the French international. Frenkie de Jong and Pedri are holding the midfield, with Marcus Rashford, Fermin Lopez and Rafinha playing behind Robert Lewandowski. Well, this is a very, very strong Barcelona side, but they won't find it easy today against a very, very tough Newcastle United team. So we take a look at our officials today. It's Glenn Nyberg from Satar in Sweden, who's our referee today, FIFA registered. His assistants are Mabod Baigi, also from Sweden, Andres Sokovist, also from Sweden, and the fourth official, Adam Ladebach, is from Sweden as well. VAR have a mixed contingency. Jerome Brissard from France is in VAR. His assistant is Bram van Drescher from Belgium. Barcelona are in their change colours of orange this evening. In fact, they look very orange. Orange shirt, orange shorts, orange socks. Very orange indeed. Newcastle are in their black and white stripes, their famous black and white stripes, as they kick off what could be a famous night for Newcastle United. And we are just waiting now for the official to get this game underway. Hansi Flick has brought his Barcelona team to Newcastle. They're currently second in La Liga right now, coming off a 6-0 victory over Valencia at the weekend. Eddie Howe, a more modest 1-0 victory. Headed up in the air there by Pau Sabasi. It's picked up on the far side by by the number 11 Rafinha, and the ball is played forward there, looking for Anthony Gordon, but clearing up at the back there is Jules Koundé. Gives it back to the goalkeeper Garcia. Garcia plays the ball out to Ronald Araujo. Araujo gives the ball away though, and he plays it straight forward there to Harvey Barnes, who tried to play the ball through to Anthony Gordon, but a smart piece of defending that time by Araujo. And you can see here, he just cuts across and ensures there is no route to goal. João Garcia with the goal kick. Launches the ball downfield. Up in the air trying to win that ball. It's flicked on. Robert Lewandowski trying to get a touch on that as well. Just trying to bring the ball under control there. That's really well played by Bruno Guimaraes. Tries to play the ball forward to Anthony Elanga, but Elanga is dispossessed. And the ball is played forward now. And Barcelona are on a break with Rafinha. Rafinha down the right-hand side. He just checks back. Gives the ball back there. And the shot is wide by Fermin Lopez. It was, really well wide by Fermin Lopez, receiving the ball off Rafinha. Hansi Flick, the former Germany coach, of course, did not have much success behind the bench for De Mannschaft, the only manager of Germany to ever be relieved of his duties. He's doing a good job at Barcelona right now. The ball is cleared downfield by Nick Pope. It's headed on there, but Joel Linton has been fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Newcastle United. Just inside the Barcelona half of the field, Tino Livramento has the ball in his hand, and he's just releasing that right now. Dan Burn getting forward. Of course, we all know how dangerous he is from crosses. He's a really good header of the ball. Kieran Trippier is the man that's going to take it. As Tino Livramento walks away, Trippier launches the ball towards the box, looking for Dan Burn. He chests the ball down, gets the cross in. It's cleared away by Sabasi and headed out there as well. Just trying to clear the ball away there down the left-hand side was Marcus Rashford, but he was blocked immediately, and the ball was put out of play over on that far side by Kieran Trippier. Well, there's Nick Voltemada on the bench, eating a banana at this time. We'll see if he is used at any point today. It's a throw into Barcelona, midway inside their own half of the field, and Gerard Martin is taking this one. Joel Linton close with Frenkie de Jong there. Frenkie de Jong, the Dutch international, part of a star-studded Barcelona lineup, really. Gerard Martin plays the ball to Sabasi. Sabasi back to the goalkeeper, and he had to release it quickly because closing in there was the number 10 for Newcastle, Anthony Elanga. And, well, already early on, Newcastle putting on some pressure on this Barcelona team. And the Newcastle fans really making a lot of noise early on. And it's with Sabasi again. He finds Koundé. Koundé plays the ball forward to Rafinha. Rafinha first time, but he only manages to find Kieran Trippier there. It's now with Shah. Long ball there, looking for Harvey Barnes, but the ball goes off Jules Koundé and out of play for a throw into Newcastle United. We've played 4.5 minutes. It's 0-0 so far as Barcelona pick up the ball here. It's Rafinha down the right-hand side. Checks inside, Rafinha. Moves into the middle, but the pass there again was poor by Rafinha. Bruno Guimaraes wins that. Plays the ball forward, looking for Sandro Tonali. It breaks back again for Livramento. Here's Guimaraes. Here's a good ball over the halfway line to Trippier. Trippier sends Anthony Elanga off down the right-hand side. Elanga gets in the penalty area. Oh, it's pulled back to Gordon. Oh, what a chance. And he miscues that. Oh, if it had made any connection on that, he surely would have made Garcia work. What an opportunity that was for Newcastle. For a moment there, Anthony Elanga had the freedom of the penalty area. And here's Sabasi. Ariel. Oh, I should say Arayo, if I pronounced that correctly, and I probably haven't, so I'm sorry. Here's Arayo. Plays the ball to Jules Koundé. Koundé steps the ball back to Arayo. He's got Sabasi over there on the far side. Gives the ball over there now to Martin. Martin plays the ball forward. Just over on that left-hand side is Rashford. He's checking back towards his own penalty area as Barcelona being pressed back here from Newcastle United, and they're not really at the moment able to get into the Newcastle half of the field. As we take a look at that chance again from Anthony Elanga, well, when he pulled that ball across, what an opportunity for Anthony Gordon. And well, that's definitely an opportunity missed right there. Ball played forward, just looking there for Pedri, but it's intercepted by the number 7, Joel Linton, and he's through now to Harvey Barnes. Oh, and I think that's a really good save in the end by Garcia. He may even be offside, Harvey Barnes. Indeed he was. The ball was played through by Joel Linton, and yes, he'd just gone a fraction too soon, Harvey Barnes. Really, the goalkeeper didn't know that, and it was a really good save by Garcia. João Garcia deputising for the injured Marc-Andre ter Stegen. But it is a free kick. Barcelona in that orange strip. You're not going to lose them in the dark, that's for sure. Here's Sabasi. Cross on the far side there, looking for Martin. Martin goes down under pressure, and Gordon wins the ball back, gives the ball to Elanga. Sloppy pass by Elanga, but it is won back there by by Kieran Trippier. And the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And Newcastle really starting as they mean to go on. They have definitely been the best team in this first 10 minutes, controlling the ball. It's possession football in the Barcelona half of the field. And what can they do about it? Sabasi heads the ball forward, brought down well though by Joel Linton. Here's Tino Livramento down this left-hand side to Tonali. Tonali tries to pass the ball, but Jules Koundé gets across, makes a challenge. And here's Dan Burn. Dan Burn plays the ball back there to Fabian Schär. Back to Burn again. Burn plays the ball forward, down to Harvey Barnes down this left-hand side. Plays a quick 1-2 there, and Barnes plays it across the face of goal, but Garcia gets the ball, plunges himself on it. It was a brilliant move by Newcastle. Quick 1-2 with Harvey Barnes and Tonali, and getting it down and making the comfortable save is Garcia. And now Marcus Rashford on the break for Barcelona. It's 4-on-3, odd man rush for Barcelona. Here's Rashford, skips into the penalty area, shoots just wide. Oh, he was not closed down quickly enough, Marcus Rashford there. And that made it just a little bit too easy to get inside the Newcastle defence. We'll take a look at this again. It was a beautiful turn by Rashford. Left Trippier just standing there. And, well, he gets into the penalty area. Nobody closing him down. He gets the shot away. And that's really sloppy from Newcastle defensively. The finish equally as sloppy. He skewed that wide. It's going to be a goal kick for Nick Pope. Launches the ball downfield. We're just under 10 minutes gone. No score at St James's Park between Newcastle United and Barcelona. Thank you for joining us for this evening's Champions League football. We definitely appreciate you joining us. If you like what you hear, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel. If you want to support us, that's the best way to do it. Here is Dan Burn. Plays the ball across there to Fabian Schär. Schär drops the ball back to Nick Pope, who's outside of his penalty area. Here is Pope. He lifts the ball over Rafinha to Tino Livramento. Livramento plays the ball forward here to Joe Linton. Joe Linton is dispossessed, and it's picked up in the middle of the park now for Barcelona. Storming forward is Pedri. He plays the ball out wide to Rafinha. Rafinha was looking for the run there, and he was not able to pick up the run. Jules Koundé was up there with him, and he was not able to pick up the run from Jules Koundé. But that started with Pedri winning the ball back in midfield there. Dan Burn launches a long ball forward. Trying to just bring that ball under control is Anthony Gordon, and that's really good defending by Gerald Martin. Well, Barcelona certainly have been under the cosh for much of this first 10 minutes of this Champions League tie. And the ball coming forward now over the halfway line by Pedri. And the ball is out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And Joe Linton working hard in the midfield. And the throw-in is taken there by Koundé, given to Sabasi, back to Koundé. Pedri plays the ball forward to Rafinha. Rafinha was not able to bring that ball under control, and Newcastle win it back. Sandro Tonali goes back to the goalkeeper Nick Pope, and it's cleared downfield. Up in the air there is Tonali. Joe Linton wins that ball, headed on by Fabian Schär, and Bruno Guimaraes has picked up the ball. It's a head injury, so referee Glenn Nyberg has just stopped play for a moment. And we just got a brief stoppage in play at the moment. Looking at some of the other scores today, Copenhagen 2, Leverkusen 2, Frankfurt and Galatasaray are 0-0. Manchester City and Napoli also 0-0. Sporting Lisbon and Kairat are 0-0 as well. Also from earlier, Club Brugge 4, Monaco 1. So, in a packed capacity as we look around St James's Park. You're not missing anything. Livramento is still down, just so you know. We have our next game on the Commentary Hub will be on Saturday evening. I believe it's a 7 p.m. kickoff, and it is Brentford versus. It's actually an 8 p.m. kickoff. Thank you, Ross. Fulham versus Brentford, 8 p.m. kickoff from Craven Cottage. London derby there. Do join us for that. Tino Livramento is back on his feet now, and we are about to get the game back underway. Bruno Guimaraes wearing the captain's armband for the Toon just drops the ball back to back to the number 2 for Newcastle, which is Kieran Trippier, of course, and it's played long into the Barcelona half and given back to them. Very sporting, as Jules Koundé tries to play the ball forward. That's a good interception by Tino Livramento, puts the ball out of play for a throw-in. The Barcelona fans packed up in the rafters behind the goal, up on that far side, up behind that goal on the third tier. There's quite a few of them that have come from Catalonia. And here is Gordon. Gordon tries to play the ball through to Alanga. It's picked up on the far side by Harvey Barnes. By Trippier. Launched across into Barnes. Barnes tries to get to the byline. Koundé gets the block, and it's going to be a corner for Newcastle. Well, Kieran Trippier's quick ball in there. It was quick thinking by the former England international. He just lifts the ball in there. He could have shot if he wanted to. Went for the less selfish route. Found Harvey Barnes. Jules Koundé had that covered. And it's going to be a corner for Newcastle United. And Kieran Trippier is going to go over to take it on the left-hand side. He's going to swing this ball in. Dan Burn is in there, no surprise there. Gordon's in there. All the usual suspects. Trippier plays it short though, and finally does play a low cross across the 16-yard box, which is blocked by Rafinha, and Rafinha is not able to keep the ball in play, so it's going to be another corner to Newcastle United, their second of the game. Jason Tyndall and Eddie Howe having a conversation now. And the corner is, let's see if Trippier goes for a longer one this time. And Joel Linton in there, trying to get in the goalkeeper's way. This he goes short again to Tonali, back to Kieran Trippier, and his cross is plucked out of the air by João Garcia, and Barcelona can start again. Here's Jules Koundé from the back. De Jong. Frankie De Jong just trying to turn away from Joel Linton. Gives the ball back to Sabasi. Barcelona have a 54 passes completed, slightly higher than Newcastle United, but you have to say the ball really has been spending in this first half, spent most of the time in the Barcelona half of the field. And here's Sabasi. Good ball out wide to Koundé. Koundé checks back, gives the ball to Frankie De Jong. And here's Ronald Araújo, or Araújo, I'm sorry, I think it's Araújo. Get that name right yet. Here is Frankie De Jong. Back to Araújo. Out wide there to Marcus Rashford. He tried to cross the ball in, but it was cleared away. And here's De Jong again inside the centre circle. Cross to Pedri. Pedri holds the ball up well. Here's Araújo. Sabasi. De Jong. Jules Koundé. It's good pressing this. Good turn by Koundé. Gets away from Livramento. Gives the ball to Rafinha. Rafinha tries to play the ball forward, looking for Robert Lewandowski. But he has been very quiet in this first half as Lewandowski. Here's Rashford. Rashford tries to play the ball through. That's a really good challenge by Byrne, but Lewandowski wins it back and gives it to Rafinha. Rafinha drops the ball back to Koundé. See Dan Byrne watching Lewandowski there. That looks like that's going to be his man for the evening. Araújo. And picked up again by De Jong, just outside the centre circle. Rashford, Araújo. Pedri, back to Araújo. And here's Frankie De Jong again as Barcelona just getting used to keeping possession of the ball. Here's Marcus Rashford. Pedri inside the centre circle. He's got options left and right. He manages to find the number 16 there, Lopez. It's crossed in. Oh, and Pope doesn't get there. And there's Jules Koundé with a shot. And he just got his foot underneath it and blazed it over the crossbar. Nick Pope met Robert Lewandowski there. It looked like it was almost fit for his head. It was a good piece of goalkeeping in the end, actually. Just gets a fist to it. Wasn't fully convincing. Perhaps most of it got Lewandowski, but nevertheless, it was enough to get the danger away from the 39-year-old Polish international. And in the end, it's actually going to be a free kick, and it's taken quickly downfield. And it's picked up by the number 7, Joel Linton. Joel Linton goes down, and it's a free kick to Newcastle United. Frankie De Jong disagrees, but it is a free kick for the foul on Joel Linton. And it's right on the halfway line. Sandro Tonali is over it, takes it short, and drops the ball to Fabian Schär. Across to Trippier. Trippier picks up the ball, gives it to Bruno Guimaraes. He tries to turn away there from Pedri, but that's really good work by Pedri, just knocking the ball out of play. It's a throw into Newcastle United. It's going to be taken by Kieran Trippier down to Newcastle right. Manages to find Anthony Gordon, who is body checked. Oh, that's a hit that you'd see in the NHL, and it would be legal, and it would be good. But you can't have that in football. That was a blatant body check and a free kick for Newcastle United midway inside the Newcastle half of the field. And Dan Byrne who goes forward once again. Kieran Trippier and Anthony Elanga are conversing on how they are going to take this free kick. It's certainly good territory for either of them to swing across in. Barcelona have got the high line just outside the 18-yard box. And it looks like it's going to be Trippier. Trippier lifts the ball in. It's headed out there by Rafinha. And it's flicked on, and he's away here. And it's the number 14, Rashford, trying to get away there. But that's a really good challenge by Kieran Trippier. Rashford just could not get away from Trippier there. But Barcelona looking to catch Newcastle cold there. And this free kick has been given, possibly for offside. It was, he might have been just ahead of him there, Rashford, just ahead of Kieran Trippier. Anyway, it's going to be Tino Livramento that's going to take the free kick. My producer Russ reports that Napoli are down to 10 men against Manchester City, so their task has become a little bit harder at the Etihad Stadium. Rafinha clears the ball forward, looking for the chasing Lewandowski. Meeting him well is Fabian Schär, well played. Puts the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Barcelona. Robert Lewandowski, well, he might not have the legs that he used to have, but he's extremely dangerous and plays the game very intelligently. Jules Koundé with a throw-in. The ball was cleared forward, looking for Rafinha. It's won back by Livramento. And that's a good touch by Guimaraes to Tonali. Tonali sets off Elanga on the way now. Elanga gets into the penalty area, strikes a shot, but it's really well blocked by Gerard Martin. And Martin clears the ball forward, looking for Marcus Rashford, but winning that ball well was Trippier once again. And that is flicked on there by Livramento, but all the way through to Gerard Martin and through to the goalkeeper. Garcia plays the ball downfield, up in the air, winning that one. That's a good header won by Lewandowski, and it's out on the far side to Rashford from Rafinha. Rashford cuts inside the penalty area, quick back heel to Rafinha. Rafinha tries to get the block in. Joel Linton has to deal with it. His clearance is not the best. It only manages to find Rashford again. Rashford plays the ball short. Here's Pedri. Barcelona putting on sustained pressure for the time being. Sabasi inside the Newcastle United half of the field. Ball over the top to Rashford again. Rashford trying to get the better of Trippier. Trippier deals with that really, really well and plays the ball forward. And over the halfway line goes Guimaraes. Guimaraes, he has to hold up. And there's Elanga. Away goes Elanga. He's got Barnes in the middle. Here's a chance for Harvey Barnes. Oh, super save by Garcia. Oh, that was a brilliant passage of play. Fantastic football. Breakout by Anthony Elanga from the pass from Guimaraes. The cross into the middle to Harvey Barnes. His shot was saved superbly by the Barcelona goalkeeper Garcia. Well, Anthony Gordon hold up, which meant Guimaraes had to hold up, but he finally played the pass forward, and Anthony Elanga at speed overlapping inside that penalty area, played the ball across to Harvey Barnes, and that is a kick save by Garcia. Now, these two teams have met each other 4 times actually in the Champions League over the time that they have met each other. Barcelona have won 3. And Newcastle have won 1. Newcastle won the first meeting. Was launched into the penalty area, flicked on there by Joel Linton. It's finally cleared away by Pedri. Chasing this one is Rafinha, and the official has blown up here for something. I'm not sure exactly what. The first meeting between these two sides took place on the 17th of September 1997, where Newcastle won 3-2 at home against Barcelona. In 1997, the big news event of the year, of course, was the tragic passing of Princess Diana, who died in a car crash in Paris in France. The ball is played forward looking for Rafinha. Rafinha tries to pull the cross in, and it's Tino Livramento that gets the touch on that. And it's going to be a corner for Barcelona, their first of the game. And Sabasi going up there, Frankie de Jong going up there. You can expect Robert Lewandowski to be in there as well, of course. Arayo also up there. And the corner is going to be taken by... I'm just trying to see who this is. It's Rafinha, I believe. Rafinha swings across in towards the back post. It's headed on. And trying to win that ball back is Fabian Schär, but that's good work by Pedri. And the ball looking again for Rafinha, but Tino Livramento just gets there first, and that is surely a free kick. And yes, a foul there, most definitely a free kick. I can't see why Rashford could be complaining about that, because it was for sure a foul. And I mean, he was away, and there was, well, it was a follow through, wasn't it? I mean, he did try to win the ball. He might have even made possession. He might have actually got possession of the ball. But at the same time, he went through Livramento, and he's back up on his feet, but he's moving rather gingerly. Keep an eye on Tino Livramento as we take a look again at that chance from Harvey Barnes. Really good save by Garcia. Super goalkeeping. Here's Jules Koundé with a throw-in, just inside his own half of the field. Played forward, looking there for Frankie de Jong. Livramento again gets another shove in the back, this time from Lopez. And it's a Fermin Lopez who committed that foul again on Livramento, who is been in the wars in the last few minutes. Here's Joel Linton, and there's another foul. This time committed by Frankie de Jong on Tonali. And Barcelona adopting a physical approach to this game, to say the very least. And Bruno Guimaraes, is he going to take this one? Played 27 minutes. And it is still 0-0 here. 0-0 also in the Etihad as well. And as Manchester City are playing 10-man Napoli today. And here is Joel Linton. Joel Linton plays the ball forward, but there's way too much on that. There's no way Anthony Elanga is going to get that, and it rolls straight through to Garcia in the Barcelona goal. And we'll see whether Garcia decides to go for the throw-in. Now he's looking there for... he was looking for Frankie de Jong, but there was nothing given there now. And a free kick against Joel Linton for a foul on Pedri. And, well, the yellow card is now being shown. Let's have a look. Well, yeah, I can see why, actually. He doesn't make any attempt to win the ball, does Joel Linton. And he gets a yellow card for that. Just clutching a hold of the shirt of Pedri. And it's a free kick to Barcelona, just inside the Newcastle half of the field. And the ball is dropped back there. Played forward to Rashford. Back to Pedri. Pedri. Forward to Rashford. Back to Arayo. Arayo holds the ball up here. To De Jong. De Jong just skipping his way back towards his own goal. De Jong, he does finally go back to Garcia. And Newcastle, well, they've just laid off Barcelona a little bit now. It's Barcelona in the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes that have been the more creative team. Here's Livramento. Livramento gives the ball away to De Jong, and here's Rafinha. Rafinha looking for Rashford, but that's a poor ball. And Kieran Trippier gets it. It's knocked on by Bruno Guimaraes to Elanga, and Elanga now running at this Barcelona defence. It's played into the middle, but good work by Jules Koundé. Only back to Elanga though, and it's back to Guimaraes just inside the penalty area. Elanga, can he get the cross in again? He can. There's Anthony Gordon, is right behind him, and the ball just moves away from Tonali And it's now with Harvey Barnes crossing the ball in, and the goalkeeper just gets across and gets down and makes that save. But once again, the Newcastle problem, the Newcastle creativity is coming on the right-hand side from Anthony Elanga, and Barcelona are going to have to watch that. Here's Rashford. Rashford checks inside. Good challenge by Kieran Trippier. As Rashford once again trying to block the clearance from Trippier. He does well to do that. Here's Pedri. Just inside the penalty area, Pedri. And he's got a bit of time and space. Frankie de Jong back to Rashford again. Rashford lifts the ball into the penalty area. Rafinha trying to get on the end of that, but it's just over his head and behind for a goal kick. As Barcelona now trying to create some chances themselves. And Nick Pope is just going to be taking all the time in the world here. But he's going to get a warning from the referee if he's not careful. Newcastle fans on their feet as usual. Scarves waving, shirts waving. Well, what a night it would be for Newcastle if they can turn over Barcelona. 31 minutes gone here. Nick Pope with the goal kick. Clears the ball downfield. Up in the air is Joel Linton. It's won back by Pedri. Pedri gives the ball to Koundé. Koundé plays the ball forward looking for de Jong. Koundé gets a second bite at the cherry, but de Jong is fouled. 0-0 here. As you can see on the scoreboard there. It's Lewandowski who's fouled by Fabian Schär. And he's trying to say he's been fouled 4 times. But it's a free kick to Barcelona in any case. And it's Frankie de Jong who is going to take it. Lewandowski giving some advice to Pedri. And here's Frankie de Jong from that free kick. It's quickly taken. Long ball into the penalty area looking for Rashford. Rashford tries to head the ball on. It's cleared by Joe Linton. And here's Arayo again. To Jules Koundé. Back to Pedri. Pedri trying to turn. He just loses his feet for a moment. Arayo is down. And Barcelona put the ball out of play. He seems to... Yes, let's take a look. See if he's... there's not much in that really. Bit of an elbow. He might be winded. But to be honest with you, I'll bite and say I don't think that there was much in that at all. And there is Hansi Flick with his coaching staff. He'll be looking to start the Champions League off with a good result. I don't think there's a spare seat to be had in the house here. It looks absolutely packed to capacity. Here is Anthony Elanga. He gives the ball back to Barcelona. Sporting display. Here's Arayo. Holding the ball up there. And gives the ball to Martin. Martin over the halfway line. Good pass there to Robert Lewandowski. Lays it off there to Pedri. Pedri has got time and space. Gives the ball to Koundé. Koundé has got Rafinha overlapping. Rafinha. Back to Pedri. Back to Rafinha again. And here's a really good pass here to Frankie de Jong. De Jong. And it's Arayo. Arayo again. Here's de Jong. Patient build up by Barcelona. Back to Arayo. And here is Pedri. Plays the ball forward. Ooh, nice flick on there. It was a good idea by Lopez. Gives the ball to Lewandowski. His shot is blocked. And it's back now with de Jong. It's out on the far side there to Rashford. Rashford gets across it. It's headed on. It's Lewandowski who pulled the ball across the penalty area. Perhaps he was looking for a shot. Here's De Jong again now. He's about 30 yards out. Gives the ball to Ario. Ario tries to play through. And it was cleared away. And now here's Lewandowski inside the penalty area. And here's a chance for Rafinha. And he shoots wide. Well, the ball was ping-pong inside the Newcastle penalty area. And the shot there by Rafinha, I just wondered if it came off Trippier. Not sure if it did. It's a goal kick, I think. And Rafinha scored, according to Russ 4 years ago, Rafinha scored for Leeds United in a 1-1 draw at St James's Park. Alan Saint-Maximin scored for Newcastle. Jules Koundé just allows that ball to roll out of play. 36% ball possession for Newcastle. They've certainly created the better chances in the first half, but as the first half has gone on, Barcelona have got themselves much more back into the game. Here's Koundé. Oh, that ball bounces off Koundé, and it's going to be a throw into Newcastle midway inside the Newcastle half of the Barcelona half of the field, and it's Tino Livramento that's going to take this one. Tonali. Here's Guimaraes. Guimaraes gives the ball away. And here's Robert Lewandowski. He needs some help up there, Lewandowski. He's got Rashford up there with him. Here's Lopez. Good ball by Pedri. To De Jong. It's Pedri again. We've got 9 minutes to go till the break here. It's still 0-0. Here's Koundé. Koundé swings the ball in and it's cleared away that time by Dan Burn. Only as far as Pedri again. It's Koundé one more time. Koundé drops the ball back to Sabasi. Sabasi across to Arayo. Arayo inside his own half of the field. Gives the ball to De Jong. It is still 0-0 and Barcelona trying to press forward. De Jong. Pedri. He's got time and space as Pedri. Good ball down the right to the number 11 there, Rafinha. Rafinha drops the ball to Pedri. Pedri. It's a good ball across there. Frankie de Jong. Rashford. Rafinha. Here is the number 8, Pedri again. It's got options left and right. Here is De Jong. It gives the ball to Rashford. Rashford tried to skip inside. Rashford with a shot. Oh, it's blocked. It flicks up into the air, but it's dealt with well by Tino Livramento. Just calmly brings the ball under control, but he loses the ball to Jules Koundé, and now Koundé drops the ball back to Lopez. And here's De Jong. Rafinha. Rafinha is about 30 yards out, Rafinha. Trying to find some space. He goes down under the challenge. It's going to be a free kick to Barcelona. About 30 yards from goal, almost centre. It's a very good position. And we'll take a look at that again because I think Rafinha went down very easy there. Might have been caught by Guimaraes. But there was a delay in him going down. And Nick Pope is just trying to organise the wall now. And Rafinha is over it. Probably Rashford will be over that as well. Maybe worth an effort from here. Certainly you'd think it would be Rafinha's cup of tea from this distance. A three-man wall. Tonali, Byrne and Joel Linton in that wall. Here's Rafinha with a shot and it's just over the bar. And, well, still Barcelona really to force a save out of Nick Pope in this game. Rafinha got the ball over, but as always, when it's so close in, it's difficult to get the ball over and down again. And Rafinha was not able to do it at that point. And Sandro Tonali having a word with the referee. It's going to be a goal kick for Newcastle. Nick Pope to take it. as we have almost 5 minutes left to go until half-time at St James's Park, where Newcastle and Barcelona are all locked up at 0. Nick Pope will play the ball downfield, and the header is won there by Arayo, and it's picked up here by Tonali. And now then, here's Harvey Barnes. Barnes tries to play the ball forward. That's a really good pass here to Tonali, but a challenge there by Jules Koundé on Harvey Barnes, and it looks like that goes behind for a Newcastle corner. It's a rough challenge on Barnes as well, it has to be said. Ball played back here by Tonali to Barnes. Is Anthony Elanga going to take this corner? So Kieran Trippier not taking this corner then. He's taken the last 2 from that side, but Elanga is going to have a go now. Going to swing this one in, and Dan Burns just being spoken to by the official, Mr. Nyberg. And Garcia also warned as well. Free kick. The corner is swung in. Garcia gets his hands to it enough to get it to Rashford, who clears the ball all the way to the halfway line. Kieran Trippier is there to meet it. Launches the ball back towards the penalty area. Flicked on by Byrne. And there's Joel Linton. And it's left by Fabian Schär that time. Schär picks it up now. Swings across in. It's a poor one. It's headed out there by Sabasi. And Tino Livramento launches the ball back in. Flicked on by Joel Linton, and Harvey Barnes tried to play him through, but Joel Linton was in fact in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick to Barcelona. At half-time, Russ will bring you all the updated scores, including what's coming next on the channel, and we'll be back, of course, with second half coverage. Second half commentary, of course. Here now is Frankie de Jong. Ball played forward. Oh, that's really good pass. Pedri now picks up the ball. Tries to find Rafinha again, but that was really well read by Sandro Tonali. Tonali now plays the ball to Joel Linton. Across to Trippier. Trippier setting off Elanga on his way down that right-hand side. He's been so dangerous. Elanga checks back. And that's a good cross by Joel Linton towards the back post. Picking it up is Anthony Gordon. Gordon now trying to get in the penalty area and get a cross of his own. Oh, really good challenge by Jules Koundé. Stopping that cross from getting in. And it's going to be a corner to Newcastle United. As the Newcastle United fans approve of this performance by Newcastle in the first half. And well, they might, because they've played incredibly well against a very strong Barcelona team. And it's going to be taken again by Anthony Elanga. Going to swing this one in. Under pressure there is Garcia. It's swung in, it's flicked on and cleared away. Only as far as Tino Livramento. Livramento's going to launch this one back in. Gordon's offside, so he's not able to make it, and Garcia just comes out and plucks that one right out of the air. And the throw in to release Jules Koundé. Koundé now sets off over the halfway line. He's got some options. He gives the ball to de Jong. 1-2 with Pedri. Once again, another 1-2 with Pedri, and here's Arayo. Arayo over the halfway line, and again, a quick 1-2 with Rashford. Here's Pedri again, Rashford. Pedri. And you can see Gerald Martin getting forward as well for Barcelona over on that left-hand side. Arayo. Back into the centre circle. Here's de Jong. Pedri. Tries to flick the ball through. It's blocked by Joel Linton. Joel Linton brings the ball back under control. And, oh, that's a nasty foul on Joel Linton. And that is going to be a freak. That's a nasty challenge, I should say, on Bruno Guimaraes. That is going to be a yellow card. There's no question about that. That was a very, very unpleasant challenge on Bruno Guimaraes. Studs up knee, right down the knee. It's unacceptable, that kind of challenge. And I'm just trying to see who picked up the yellow card. Gerard Martin is the one. It's the offender, and he goes into the referee's notebook. We have 2 minutes to go at the end. We've got 2 minutes of injury time at the end of this first half. As Gerard Martin goes into the referee's notebook. As you can see from the substitutes, we haven't made a mistake. The substitutes for Barcelona, they're having one less substitute than their allotted 12. Newcastle usually has got 12 on their bench, as Bruno Guimaraes will be that. Oh, you can see the mark there. That is a pretty unpleasant challenge by Gerard Martin. And we'll see whether Guimaraes is going to be okay to continue. It looks like it. He's on his feet now. It's going to be a free kick to Newcastle. We'll probably play a little bit more than 2 minutes, possibly closer to 3, as a consequence of the treatment for Bruno Guimaraes. Nick Pope is going to take the free kick. He's almost out, almost by the centre circle to take this free kick. Barcelona opting for a very high line. And it's a long kick by Pope. Anthony Gordon tries to chest that ball down, but it's cleared away by Frankie de Jong. Headed on by Tonali. And trying to pick this up is Harvey Barnes. And this is really good play by Jules Koundé. Oh, turned him inside and out. And Jules Koundé now gets a free kick. And, well, he's out over by off the pitch at the moment. And he looks in a lot of pain. And that was Dan Burn, incidentally. And a yellow card for Dan Burn. And I think if you're going to book Gerald Martin, that's a very similar challenge by Dan Burn. You have to book Dan Burn. It's a consistency that we as fans and broadcasters are all looking for. So yellow card for Dan Burn. And we're probably going to end up playing another 2 minutes here, as Jules Koundé is now back on his feet, but he's moving very gingerly. And just trying to get himself, just trying to put some movement in that leg. Let's hope it's just an impact knock for Jules Koundé, nothing serious. As Hansi Flick looks at his Apple Watch. And the goal kick is going to be taken by Garcia. Or I should say the free kick rather is going to be taken by Garcia. He's being asked to move it closer to the touchline. Garcia, right-footed, downfield from that free kick. Dan Burn winning the header fairly this time, and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Barcelona. Jules Koundé is going to take this one. And this game really has been riddled with fouls. And that's it, that's the half-time whistle. The referee choosing just to play the 3 minutes additional stoppage time. It's 0-0, the best chance coming to Harvey Barnes for Newcastle from the cross from Anthony Elanga. Anthony Gordon had a chance which he missed completely early on in the game. But most of the danger and chances, the best chances are being created by Newcastle from Anthony Elanga, specifically on that right-hand side. But at half-time at St James's Park, it's Newcastle 0, Barcelona 0. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James, and we'll be back with Paul in plenty of time for the start of the second half commentary, where Newcastle United are taking on Barcelona at St James's Park with the scoreline at 0-0. If you're just tuning into us this evening, thank you very much for doing so. Please, if you are tuned in for the very first time today, thank you very much for giving up your Thursday evening to come and listen to us here on the Commentary Hub to tell you what is the latest score and the commentary from St James's Park. There is some other goals and other games taking place this evening. We'll update you on the scores in just a second when those other games get to half time. We're coming up towards half time now and on. And just want to point out the scores that we're going across the screen in the live match game. The players' names next to the games in the matches are the goal scorers in the games for the teams. Obviously, at St James's, obviously at the Etihad, there's no goal, so the player there is a man who's been sent off for Napoli this evening in the game. As we get ready to give you the half-time scores in just a second, closing stages of the game of Frankfurt tonight against Galatasaray, where of the first half that is in that game there. So let's bring you the half-time scores then from the matches taking place this evening in the Champions League. Just to let you know, the game between Frankfurt and Galatasaray, that game is still being played right now. It's 3-1 to Frankfurt in that game. Man City 0, Napoli 0. Di Lorenzo sent off on 21 minutes. It was marked as a return for Kevin De Bruyne at the Etihad Stadium. His return only lasted 26 minutes due to the red card for Di Lorenzo. He is going off for a tactical switch. Kevin De Bruyne, from what I understand, got a fantastic reception at the Etihad when he was off the field, was substituted in that game. 0-0 between Newcastle and Barcelona, as you've heard from Paul James. Sporting Lisbon 1, Karat Almaty 0 is the latest score there as well. The half-time whistle going up and down the country any second now for all the games that have been played tonight. Those are the scores on your screen. There will confirm you whether it is 3-1 to Frankfurt at half-time as soon as the half-time whistle goes there, and if not, we'll pull the scores back up and just give you the score there. In fact, I can tell you it is now just gone to half-time there, and it is Eintracht Frankfurt 3, Galatasaray 1 in that game there. So all the games are at half-time now. We're going to take a quick break before we return for second half coverage. Join us shortly here on the Commenttary Hub as Newcastle United and Barcelona are drawing 0-0 at St James's Park. Join us shortly for second half action. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the game between Newcastle United and Barcelona, where it is currently 0-0 between Newcastle and the Spanish Giants here in the game at St James's Park, ahead of the second half coverage coming up shortly before the second half gets underway very soon. We'll bring in our match commentator, Paul James. And Paul, been a good first half this evening at St James's Park, some good chances for both sides. Nooks are probably the ones on top, and you would probably say, Paul, that Eddie Howe will probably be the happier of the two managers going into this half-time break and ahead of the second half, you would have to say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. They've created the better chances. Barcelona got back into the game as the first half went on and had more possession, but the better chance of falling for Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe will be very satisfied with the first half.
Yeah, you'd have to say so as well, Paul. Some good chances for them. Harvey Barnes with some decent opportunities. Probably on another day, you'd have backed them to at least for one away. Some good goalkeeping though, but Barcelona have had some fair share of their chances as well. Lewandowski with a couple of shots blocked, Rafinha with an effort blocked and looped into the air and an effort into the side netting. So is Barcelona, so looks like to the woods yet, even though he's only 0-0 and they are creating chances themselves. Barcelona are also looking dangerous too, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah, Barcelona looking dangerous going forward. Rafinha down the right-hand side and Rashford down the left are generating one or two problems. So they've certainly been, if you will, better as the first half went on. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a question of who takes the chances here, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Both teams have had chances but yet to take them. Just to be a side note as well, Paul, just on the Man City game, it's 0-0 there. As I've mentioned, Di Lorenzo sent off for Napoli on 21 minutes. And I mentioned about Kevin De Bruyne. He started that game tonight for Napoli, was substituted on 26 minutes for a tactical switch for Napoli. Obviously, coming back to that, it would have been a bit of an emotional time for Kevin De Bruyne, who played so many years at the Etihad. Just talk to me about Kevin De Bruyne as a player, what you remember from watching him in the Premier League and Man City. What a player Kevin De Bruyne is, Paul.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely outstanding. I don't care what anybody says. He's still one of the best midfielders in the world. He's still one of the best midfielders in the world. I miss him in the Premier League. His creativity, his footballing brain. I miss him in the Premier League. It's to me, it's a great acquisition for Napoli, a fantastic acquisition for Napoli, and also as well for Napoli, the former Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund is scoring as well on a pretty frequent basis as well.
Yes, and you just mentioned there about a former Man United player, Rasmus Højlund, another former Manchester United player flourishing at Napoli as well, Paul, is Scott McTominay. He's seemed to have done brilliant since he's moved out to Italy from Manchester United. I think some players may not suit Manchester United enough, and you look at Højlund, you look at McTominay, maybe those two examples, Paul, on who's not capable of fulfilling the role of playing for Manchester United of such a big club of a big stature. Then maybe their styles suit a different type of football, and it seems to have found the home at Napoli, those two players especially.
You can never really put your finger on it, can you, really, when this sort of thing happens? We've seen it many times before, not just with Manchester United. We've seen it with Chelsea when they signed Shevchenko. We've seen it with Spurs when they signed Rebrov. There are players that do particularly well in one league and maybe not in another, or with one team and not with another. It just sometimes depends on what the set suit them. Does the style of play suit them? How well are they fitting in general? There's a lot of nuances that go behind the scenes that we as fans don't see.
Absolutely, Paul. And another one could be style of play, style of play England compared to say like La Liga, like Serie A is too much fast paced. It's the Premier League compared to a Serie A or a Bundesliga or a La Liga where it's a bit more calmer. Maybe the style of football played in the league is what suits the players better rather than the actual clubs where they're playing the football. Maybe
Hard to say. I mean, obviously the Premier League is a different beast compared to some of the other leagues around the world. It could be that, but we've seen some players get settled in rather quickly. I think you will see that over time. Like Voltemada got off right away for Newcastle. The Premier League might suit him.
yes, absolutely. And I've just seen the red card for Di Lorenzo at the Etihad Stadium tonight, and it was a bad challenge on Erling Haaland, who was going through on goal. The referee on field gave a yellow card to the Napoli defender, but then VAR got involved. He went to the monitor and changed it to a red card for Di Lorenzo. And in my opinion, having just seen it there, I think it's the correct call for the red card to be given for Di Lorenzo, with the way his boot were onto his ankle after Haaland had played the ball past him, foot straight onto the ankle. He should have been a red card straight to him. I'm surprised the referee only gave a yellow card, but that's why we've got VAR for those kind of games, and it works in Europe. I think he's just the people using it, which is the problem that we keep mentioning. But that's stories for another day. As the teams are heading back out here at St James's Park in the second half, who will come out on top? Will it be Newcastle to get the victory in the Champions League, or will Barcelona spoil Newcastle's return to the top table of European football? It's time for me to hand back over to match commentator Paul James.
All right, thank you very much, Ross. Welcome back to the start of this second half at St James's Park. The referee, Mr. Nyberg, just getting the players together for kickoff for the start of this second half. Newcastle will get the second half underway. Standing over the ball is Sandro Tonali. We just wait now for the official's whistle and we can get the game underway. Sandro Tonali looks like he's going to launch the ball into the Barcelona half of the field, very much like an American football kicker might do, and he does, and he puts it all the way out of play over on the far side, as nearest to the corner flag as he can get it. But the referee is going to make them take it again. Sorry, Ross. The referee will again resume this kickoff. And I'm not sure what the problem was, but we're going to get the kickoff again now. Here we go. And once again, Tonali does exactly the same thing. And the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And it's going to be taken by Koundé over on that right-hand side. Here's Jules Koundé now. He picks up the ball again, and it's cleared away by Sabasi. And it's rebounded off a Newcastle player and gone behind for a goal kick. So at the start of this second half, we'll see if Newcastle can turn some of these chances into goals, or will Barcelona take a chance of their own and take the points back to the new camp. We'll wait and see. And the ball is played forward by Gerald Martin, looking for the number 14, Marcus Rashford. Rashford is claiming he was fouled. He was unable to keep the ball in play. It's a throw-in for Newcastle. Kieran Trippier rolls the ball out of play, and poor play really from both sides there. The throw-in is taken by Gerald Martin. And there is Araya. There is Ronald Araujo. Goes back to the goalkeeper. It's cleared downfield. Comes back into the Barcelona half of the field, and here is Tino Livramento. Livramento now sets off Harvey Barnes down the left-hand side. Can he get across in, Harvey Barnes? No, that's good work once again by Araujo. And it's going to be a corner to Newcastle. As the Newcastle fans get on their feet in that corner. As once again, Anthony Elanga is going to take it down the left-hand side. He's going to swing this ball in. Dan Burn is going to put the goalkeeper under pressure. Garcia. Arroyo has got his arms around Dan Burn. Dan Burn trying to wriggle free. Here's the corner. Swung in. The head's got by Joel Linton, and he turns it just wide. Well, Joel Linton got on the end of that one. And his header was just directed wide of the goal. If he could have just got a little bit higher, kind of got his head underneath it, but he wasn't able to direct that ball into the corner past Garcia the way he would have liked to. Kunde clears the ball away, but it's won back, and already Harvey Barnes is inside the penalty area, gets the shot away, blocked again by Arroyo, and here's Tino Livramento as Newcastle pressing forward. Every time Barcelona clear the ball, they can't seem to get it out of their own half, really. And it's a throw-in to Newcastle now, which is going to be taken by Tino Livramento. It's level with the Barcelona penalty area down that left-hand side. And Kunde is in there with Byrne. And Guimaraes is in there. And the ball is launched in. It's flicked on by Dan Byrne. And they're unable to clear it away. And I think in the end, it was Marcus Rashford who got the last touch, and it goes back through to Garcia, who does clear the ball downfield, and he's looking for the chasing. He's looking for the chasing Rafinha, but that just bounced straight through to the goalkeeper. And here's Sandro Tonali. Quick layoff there by Anthony Elanga. Back to Tonali, and Tonali tried to play the ball through to Elanga again. Elanga, I think, was standing in an offside position, so he just left it, and it goes straight through to Garcia. And Garcia releases the ball to Jules Koundé. Koundé clears the ball forward. Rafinha helps it on. And here's Pedri inside the centre circle. Pedri lays the ball off and gives it to Lopez. Across to De Jong. De Jong, flicked on there, but the ball did not reach. They were looking for Jules Koundé over on the right-hand side. Rafinha picks the ball up and gives it to Pedri. Pedri tries to play the ball through to Lewandowski. Lewandowski plays the ball straight through. It breaks loose for Rashford! And it takes a deflection and goes wide. And just for a moment, Barcelona have broken down that Newcastle defence. The ball there to Lopez, then to Lewandowski, back to Lopez. And it was a really good challenge by Tino Livramento. It broke to Marcus Rashford and took a deflection off Kieran Trippier, and the ball goes wide for a corner to Barcelona. But it looks like Trippier took that ball in the face, God bless him. Rashford is over by the corner flag. He'll get ready to take the corner. And it's actually not, it's not Trippier, it's Fabian Schär that's down there. And he's just getting back on his feet now. Took that ball square in the face from Rashford's shot. That couldn't have felt good. Eddie Howe with a worried look on his face. He knows the longer the game stays at 0-0, the longer it's likely, the more likely it is that Barcelona might snatch one. Hansi Flick also with a look of concern on his face. And we're just waiting now for the corner to be taken. As Fabian Schär actually is back down on the floor again, and he looks, he doesn't look in a good way, does Fabian Schär there. They're going to have to make sure he's okay. Players warming up on the bench for Newcastle, so ready to come on in the place of Fabian Schär should they need to. Volta Marte there on the bench. Wonder whether we'll see him today, because Anthony Gordon has been pretty quiet. And Fabian Schär does get back on his feet now, as he, if you will, the head just a little bit clearer now. He's walking off. Let's hope he's okay. You have to be so careful with concussion these days. Frankfurt 3, Galatasaray 1 is the score there. Manchester City 0, Napoli 0. Napoli down to 10 men with Di Lorenzo sending off. The corner's taken short. Here's Rashford. Drops the ball back to Pedri. Oh, that's a nice back heel there by Frenkie de Jong. It didn't quite work out, but that was a really good idea. Pedri drops the ball back to Koundé in the midfield. Koundé drops the ball back to Garcia. Barcelona have had 10 attempts, but none on target. 4 attempts for Newcastle and 1 on target. Gives you some idea how well the Newcastle defence has coped with the Barcelona offensive line. And the ball is back here with Kieran Trippier. Good ball across. And here is Joel Linton. Gives the ball to Livramento. Livramento plays the ball forward, and Anthony Elanga's away now. He needs players in the box though. Elanga plays the ball short to Joel Linton. Joel Linton across to Bruno Guimaraes. Can he get there? No, he can't. It still breaks loose so for Harvey Barnes. Here's Joel Linton. Back to Elanga. He gets the cross in. It's just over Gordon's head. And Jules Koundé heads the ball back to Elanga. It's now with Trippier. Trippier to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes dancing around in the penalty area. Breaks loose to Tonali with a shot. And it's right back at the goalkeeper. He's claiming handball is Tonali. But that shot, I think, was right at the goalkeeper, Garcia. Let's have a look if that did strike any hands. I didn't see it myself. It's cleared away there by Garcia, but only as far as Joel Linton, and Newcastle come again. It's cleared away that time by Arroyo. And now Barcelona do have possession now with Pedri storming over the halfway line. He's got options left and right. Oh, he tried to play the ball through to Lewandowski, but it's better read by Dan Burn, and he clears the ball out of play for a throw-in to Newcastle. Newcastle opt-in for the throw. Newcastle opted just to clear the ball out of play at the moment. Anywhere is good. Here's Frenkie de Jong. De Jong plays the ball into the centre circle to Arroyo. Arroyo back to de Jong. Good ball by de Jong to Rashford. Overlapping on the far side there. The cross coming in. And Gerald Martin got the ball back to Rashford. Tried to get the cross in, but it was a disappointing cross for Rashford's perspective. It goes over and wide as the England manager, Thomas Tuchel, is in the crowd today, looking at some potential England players, Rashford perhaps being one of them. And Fabian Schär now with the goal kick. Nick Pope moves the ball across, and Fabian Schär moves away. And this is just blatant time wasting, isn't it, really? Nick Pope still now hasn't taken the goal kick. Finally launches the ball downfield. Up in the air, flicked on by Trippier. Sabasi launches the ball up in the air. It's more height than distance, really. Trippier waiting for the ball to come down. He's fighting for it with de Jong. Good work between Trippier and Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes launches a super ball over on the far side to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes now, he's got Koundé in front of him. Checks back inside. Good block by Koundé. He's been outstanding for Barcelona today. Here is Harvey Barnes. Back to Barnes again. Overlapping is Tino Livramento. And it's blocked again by Jules Koundé. He has been a defensive wall for Barcelona, really making it difficult for Harvey Barnes and Livramento to do anything down that left-hand side. And of course, he's looked a bit of a threat going forward as well. We're going to have another corner change here. It's not going to be Elanga anymore. It's going to be Trippier that's going to deliver this corner. Again, down the left-hand side. We've had 11 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Newcastle United 0, Barcelona 0. A cross out to the edge of the box. Dan Burn with the header. Doesn't really get any distance on it. In fact, it goes backwards. Cleared away by Rashford, or came off Sandro Tonali, and goes out of play for a throw-in to Barcelona. Level with their own 6-yard box. And it's going to be taken by Gerald Martin, who of course is on a yellow card. Goes long, Gerald Martin. And he's given the ball away. And now here's Tonali for Newcastle. And here's Bruno Guimaraes, but well challenged there was Lopez. Really good work there by Fermin Lopez. And now Barcelona are on the break. Down the right-hand side comes Rafinha. He skips into the penalty area, Rafinha. And he tries to get to the byline. He's trying to get the cross in here. It's a bit tight now. Rafinha not able to. Manchester City have taken a 1-goal lead against Napoli. Haaland the scorer. Here is Jules Koundé. Koundé gets the cross in and headed up by Rashford! And it's 1-0 to Barcelona! It's been coming in the second half. The cross in from Jules Koundé was headed into the net by Marcus Rashford on 58 minutes, and you see the sigh of relief from Hansi Flick. And Marcus Rashford, who's not really usually a scorer with his head, just directed that ball past the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Let's take a look at this again. The cross by Jules Koundé is excellent, and the header, it was actually from the penalty spot, exactly on the penalty spot, where the header from Rashford just headed that ball on and diverted it away from Nick Pope. It wasn't completely in the corner, but it was enough to beat the England goalkeeper. And, well, Barcelona take a 1-goal lead, and we finally have a goal in this game. And it's Marcus Rashford, the Englishman, who scores the goal. And Fabian Schär looking a little frustrated there. And here comes Barcelona again now. And it's out to the number 14, Rashford again. Pulls the ball back there to Lopez with a shot. Oh, it takes a deflection. And over the crossbar, it's going to be a corner to Barcelona, as they are now on a high following that goal from Marcus Rashford. But we are now going to see Nick Voltemate and Jacob Murphy, and possibly Willock as well. I'm just yeah, so we're definitely going to see Voltemate. He's already prepared to come on. And the cross coming in there, and it's headed up into the air by Sandro Tonali. I think that's gone out of play again, has it? No, Lopez keeps possession. And he's going to cross the ball. It is Lopez again. That's headed out. Only as far as Jules Koundé. And Koundé, and that ball is cleared into the Newcastle half of the field. Or I should say the Barcelona half of the field. That's a good turn by Gerald Martin. And now over the halfway line is the number 16, Lopez. Looks like it's going to be a triple substitution for Newcastle in a moment. Here is the number 21. And there's a Fabian Schär who's gone down again, and I wonder whether it's a reoccurring from that earlier knock. He's down anyway. We'll see what's going on. So Voltemate, Murphy and Willock are coming on. There may even be a fourth there who's stripping his shirt off, or training top off rather. So we're going to see now whether we're going to see a fourth substitution. Okay, so there is 3. I don't know who that is over there as well, but it looks like there's going to be a 4 substitutions. Great. I'm trying to see who that is down there. And I'll run through these substitutes as soon as they are announced. I just can't quite see who that the 4th Newcastle player is. It's probably a defender, quite possibly Lewis Hall. It's nowhere in number 12. So yeah, so it's the German Malik Tau, as is looking like he is coming on. So obviously coming off is so Harvey Barnes is coming off. Let's see. So Harvey Barnes is coming off for Nick Voltemate, so he'll probably slot into the number 9 role. Anthony Gordon will go out on the left, unless he's coming off as well, but we'll see. Jacob Murphy coming on. Okay, here we go. So it's Joel Linton, Barnes, Alanga and Shah. Joel Linton, Barnes, Alanga and Shah. So Fabian Shah there. And okay. Right, so coming off is Shah, Joel Linton, Barnes and Alanga. And coming on for Newcastle in that 4 substitutes are Nick Voltemate, Joe Willock, Malik Tau and Jacob Murphy. Those are your quadruple substitution. Thanks, Eddie. Here's the ball over on the far side and is looking for Anthony Gordon, who goes down under that challenge. And it's going to be a free kick for the foul. And by Jules Koundé that time. No further action from the referee. Nick Voltemate on right now, looking for his 2nd goal in Newcastle colours. Fellow countryman Malik Tau on there for Sven Botman. And Voltemate already played a few games for Germany and scored 2 goals. Is hoping to get on the end of this cross from Sandro Tonali. Tonali swings this ball in, and it's too close to the goalkeeper Garcia as he plucks that one out of the air. Barcelona's next Champions League match, they're up against PSG at the Nou Camp, and Newcastle have to go to Belgium to take on Union Saint-Gilloise, if I pronounced that right. Here's Rafinha. Rafinha plays the ball through to Jules Koundé. He tried to backheel it back to Rafinha, but he didn't read it. Here's Frankie de Jong, back to Koundé, back to de Jong. De Jong gets the cross in. It's headed up and away by Jacob Murphy. Not far enough, though. Here's Jules Koundé again. Lopez. Pedri. Good ball there by Gerald Martin out to Marcus Rashford, the scorer of the Barcelona goal. And here's De Jong. And Araujo. Rashford. And here's Pedri, almost ran into the referee there. Gets the ball out to Gerald Martin. And here's Rashford. Araujo. Frankie de Jong. Number 8 there. Pedro. It's now with Gerard Martin. The ball's played forward there to Rashford. Ball has been given away now, though, and maybe Guimaraes can come forward. He can't. He goes down under the challenge, and it's going to be a throw-in to Barcelona. They're leading by a 1-0 as we have played 65 minutes gone in this game. The goal scorer was Marcus Rashford on 58 minutes with a header from the penalty spot. And that ball goes out of play for a throw into Newcastle off Rafinha. And it's going to be Tino Livramento. And he's looking for options both left and right. 2-0 City apparently. Jeremy Doku, the scorer, continuing his good form from the Manchester derby. Long throw there, looking for Joe Willock. He's not able to bring the ball under control, and it's cleared away. And heads going up there, trying to win that ball is De Jong, but it's cleared away by Tau. And Barcelona coming in. Oh, the ball is given away there by Byrne to Rashford. And Rashford now creating some space for himself. Gets a shot away! Oh, that's quite brilliant by Marcus Rashford. That's absolutely fantastic. And it's 2-0. And what a strike that was by Marcus Rashford. And, well, whatever else you may say this afternoon, if there's a goal worthy of winning any game, that's it. On 67 minutes gone, An absolutely scintillating strike by Marcus Rashford. As we take a look at this again, actually, this was fantastic. Watch this later on if you get the chance. The ball was straight to Rashford. He didn't have hardly any time to move. He was about 25 yards out, surrounded by Newcastle players, and he struck the shot, beating the goalkeeper all ends up, and under the off the crossbar and into the net. And that is a contender for goal of the tournament already of match day 1. And, well, Hansi Flick looks just delighted with that, doesn't he? And Marcus Rashford with, what? That wasn't that good. Well, it was, and Barcelona are 2-0 up. And Dan Burn trying to motivate his players. And we have 68 minutes gone, and the Newcastle fans are looking pretty dejected. It's a pity, really, for Newcastle, because they have put up a fantastic performance this afternoon. They've worked hard, they've played well as a team, they've not been able to take the chances that they have had, but Barcelona, well, they took their chances, and Marcus Rashford has come back to haunt St James's Park with 2 goals of the finest quality. Willock, Livramento, Anthony Gordon, and it's offside. So 2-0 to Barcelona, and 2 goals by Marcus Rashford. We're going to see the first substitution from Barcelona. Coming on is the number 7, which is Ferran Torres. Goodness me, those poor Newcastle fans. You think you've got enough to deal with, and on comes Ferran Torres, and going off. What looked like the number 5, Pau Sabasi. I'll get confirmation for you for that in a moment. Robert Lewandowski is coming off as well. So Lewandowski comes off, and we're just going to find out who the other substitution. There was a double sub, I think, by Barcelona. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I think it might just have been a single sub. No, it is Lewandowski and Sabasi off, and Christensen and Ferran Torres are on. So those are your substitutes for Barcelona. Double substitution there. And with 20 minutes to go, you have to say that Barcelona are in a very good position right now. But if Newcastle can get a goal back, then there might be a possibility, but we'll see. And there's Kieran Trippier. Tries to find Tonali. Yes, found Tonali, and sends off Jacob Murphy down the right-hand side. Murphy launches the ball into the box, but there's nobody there. Chasing it is Anthony Gordon, and he's not able to bring the ball under control, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. So we take a look again at that goal. Wow, that was magnificent. He had 3 Newcastle players around him and still managed to get the shot away there. There was no chance for the goalkeeper. No goalkeeper is saving that. It was absolutely stunning. Here's Joe Willock. Good ball to Tonali, cleared away by Aroya. Christensen now, who is now the substitute that's on for Sabasi. We will see how he goes. Here's Nick Pope. Plays the ball across there to the number 28, Joe Willock. Joe Willock tries to play the ball through to Voltemate. It was not successful. And Rashford clears the ball forward. What turned out to be a super ball for Rafinha. Now Rafinha gets inside the 18-yard box for Barcelona. Rafinha shoots, and he just puts it wide. And, well, not far away, as Newcastle nearly concede a third there. That would have been harsh in my opinion. Andreas Christensen, of course, an ex-Chelsea player. So just checked inside there by Rafinha, not a million miles away. Ball cleared into the centre circle, but only as far as Frankie de Jong. De Jong lifts the ball over the top. He's looking for Ferran Torres. And that ball just goes behind for a goal kick. Well, sometimes you've just got to take your hat off to the quality that you are facing. And really, that's what it is. It's Barcelona have been brilliant at times in this game. At other times, they've looked very average. But Newcastle have not able to exploit those moments in the game. Here's Jules Koundé with the throw in down the right-hand side, just inside the Newcastle half of the field. He throws it back to Christensen. And across there to the number 18, Gerard Martin. Martin's ball is poor. And now Newcastle can come forward. Oh, Trippier tries to get the ball to Jacob Murphy. And it deflects off Gerard Martin for a throw-in to Newcastle. It's a long throw-in. Picked up there by Voltemate. Voltemate plays the ball short and gets the ball to Tonali. He can try to bring that ball under control. Cleared away by Arroyo. And back to the number 12 here, Tau, for Newcastle United. And coming forward is Tino Livramento. 2-0 to Barcelona. 74 minutes gone almost here. Here's Gordon. Gordon skips away there. And it's a back heel looking for Guimaraes with a shot. And it's a decent save by Garcia. But that was really good football from Newcastle. You saw it there. The back heel to Guimaraes. He gets the shot away. And had a bit too much power for the goalkeeper to keep a hold of the ball, but he claims it at the second attempt as Garcia clears it downfield. The goals tonight are, well, I'll come back to that in a moment. Here comes Rashford now. Rashford getting into the penalty area, looking for goal number 3 perhaps. Good challenge there by Kieran Trippier, and that's a foul, and it's going to be a yellow card here with Fernan Lopez for that hold. Fermin Lopez picking up his yellow card, his first of the tournament. In about 5 or 6 minutes time, I'll have to give my man of the match to Russ, my producer. But we take a look again at Rashford, and these goals for Rashford is the first goals of his Barcelona career. And what a way to get them on the Champions League stage. Newcastle 0, Barcelona 2. And, well, there's 15 minutes to go. Time really running out for Newcastle now, as another substitution has just been made, I think. We're just trying to see who it is who has come on. Trippier has gone off. This is Sven Botman. I'm not sure who it is. Let's have a look. We'll get the name in a minute, but it's the 5th and final substitution for Newcastle. Trippier is off. It is Sven Botman. So Kieran Trippier is off and Sven Botman is on. That makes the 5 substitutions used now for Newcastle. Barcelona still have 3 with 2 attempts. And the ball is played forward looking for Jacob Murphy. Here's Murphy now down the right-hand side. Tries to get the cross, and it's blocked by Gerard Martin and goes out of play for a throw-in, which Jacob Murphy is going to take. Tries to find Joe Willock, who in turn finds Sandro Tonali. Here's Botman. Across there to Dan Burn. And now over on the right-hand side is Anthony Gordon. That's a good challenge on Anthony Gordon by Jules Koundé. And it's going to be a throw-in to Newcastle United. A Barcelona player is down at the moment. Looks like it's the captain for Barcelona. They're about ready to make 2 substitutions themselves, bringing on number 20, which is Dani Olmo, and 24, which is Eric Garcia. So we are likely to see those 2 individuals coming on in a few moments' time. Tino Livramento is going to take the throw in here. It's going to be a long one by Livramento, flicked on by Byrne. It's up in the air there. Bruno Guimaraes heads it back to Tino Livramento, flicked on by Botman. It's head tennis there. Tao trying to bring the ball under control. He gets a good ball there to Joe Willock down the right. Willock swings the ball across, and Garcia gets down and makes a comfortable save. That was too close to Garcia. Jean Garcia, the backup for the injured Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And here is Frenkie de Jong. Pedri. Back to de Jong. Back to Pedri again. Pedri drops the ball back there to de Jong, who goes all the way back to Garcia. And Barcelona, it's really game management time for them at this point. Koundé to Pedri again. Koundé. Back to Pedri. Pedri just down this near side now to Gerard Martin. And here's Pedri. De Jong. And this is Barcelona now just sort of toying with Newcastle at the moment. Finally, they do win the ball back with Sandro Tonali, but he's almost give the ball away again now. He gets a second bite at the cherry, gives it away again. Here's Rashford, who's going to be dispossessed by 3 Newcastle players. And here's Guimaraes. Ball forward to Anthony Gordon now. 4-on-4 if Newcastle can hurry. Oh, Jules Koundé gets in the way, makes a fine challenge. And now Barcelona coming forward. And it's Koundé now. Back to Pedro and Koundé. Plays it down to de Jong. De Jong across to Lopez. Back to de Jong as they just go back to comfortably just tapping the ball around. It's almost like a training ground exercise for Barcelona this now. And here is Koundé, good ball. Lifts the ball over the top there, looking for Ferran Torres. He goes down in the penalty area. The referee says no, Barcelona appealing. But I think the referee there, Glenn Nyberg, has got that correct, to be honest. I know he went down there, Ferran Torres. It looked close, but I mean, I actually think Mr. Nyberg has got that absolutely spot on. And it's a free kick to Barcelona. Rashford is down. And we'll just see whether that substitution is going to take place now. They've been waiting for a while to come on, the 2 of them. Yes, there was a collision there between Tau and Rashford. It looks like these changes are going to take place now. Rashford looks like he's one of the players making way, and the other one is Gerard Martin. So we see the header there from Rashford as he goes off now. It's been a superb performance by Marcus Rashford today. Been a threat down that left-hand side, scored 2 goals, and you can hardly argue with the overall performance, really. So the 2 coming on are Eric Garcia and Dani Olmo. And it goes back to the goalkeeper. And played forward. Oh, it's a bad giveaway by Jules Koundé. And Sandro Tonali trying to win the ball back, and a yellow card has been issued to Frankie de Jong. His first one of the tournament. 2 minutes. So I'll be naming my man of the match in about 6 or 7 minutes time. And it's going to be taken here by Anthony Gordon. It's midway inside the Barcelona half of the field. We'll see what happens from here. Let's see if Newcastle can create anything. And it's short there to Anthony Gordon. And headed away by the number 8, Pedri. And here's Bruno Guimaraes, launches the ball high up in the air. It just falls straight to Garcia, really. He's adopted that position at left back. And here is Jacob Murphy. Good play by Murphy. Beats a couple of players. Tries to play the ball through, but that's blocked. And now Barcelona can come forward. It's a long ball up top to Torres. Torres is dispossessed, though. That's really good play by Newcastle. Winning that ball back. There is Joe Willock. But they've in turn given the ball away. And in fact, they've given a free kick away. Pedri is going to take this free kick. And he gives the ball to Garcia. Garcia drops the ball back there to Arroyo. And it's going to be cleared downfield by the goalkeeper. And the head is won by Dan Burn. Brought down there. Really good play again by Barcelona. Coming forward now with De Jong. De Jong, good ball to Pedri. Here's Garcia. And across there, Garcia again to Pedri. Back to Garcia. Pedri again. And Garcia this is what Barcelona have been doing since the second goal went in, just casually knocking the ball about, keeping possession, and making Newcastle do all the chasing. And here is Lopez. And there's a player down there, I think it's Garcia over on the far side. It's going to be a free kick to Barcelona, as they have got this matter well and truly under control, I would say, it seems. Newcastle, well, I suppose they'll be looking for their first points, really, against Union Saint-Gilloise. Long ball over the top to Rafinha. Gives the ball to Jules Koundé. Rafinha again. Good play. Oh, nicely laid off there by Dani Olmo. Back to Rafinha. Garcia. Pedri. De Jong. Olmo to Koundé. Olmo again. Really good play this by Barcelona. Look at them keeping possession like this. That's a foul and a free kick by Tau. And as Newcastle becoming frustrated at this point, really unable to win the ball back off Barcelona. And here is Pedri. It was tried to be played forward there by Olmo, but picked up at the back by Tau. And here's Jacob Murphy. Plays the ball forward to Willock. Willock lays it off for Tonali. Long ball over the top, looking for Anthony Gordon, but that ball is above Gordon's head and gone out of play. As Newcastle, for me, have lost their momentum, have lost their way since the second goal went in. And, well, in the end, it's not been a bad performance from them, but Barcelona have just taken their chances, really, is what it is. And that ball is played forward looking for Ferran Torres, but it just bounces away from Torres. But here's De Jong. Ball played forward looking for Olmo, but that's blocked. And Anthony Gordon lays that ball back to Tino Livramento. Livramento again. Drops the ball back to Tonali. And here's Dan Burn. Time ticking down for Newcastle as we're heading into the final stretch of this game. 3 minutes to go. We'll give you the man of the match in about 2 minutes. And the ball over to Livramento now. Livramento crosses the halfway line and gives the ball to Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon to Willock. Let's see if he can create something, Willock. He's got time and space. Just checks and turns, Willock. And he's just spilled and give the ball away there. And Frankie de Jong comes away with that. And here is Lopez now. It's 4-on-3 odd man rush for Barcelona. And the ball is across to Rafinha. Could it get worse for Newcastle here? Rafinha back to Lopez, whose shot is over the crossbar. Not the best finish by Lopez there. And the goal kick is taken quickly to Dan Burn, as Newcastle looking to create something. A late goal by Newcastle may just put the frighteners up Barcelona a little bit, but so far they don't look like they're going to get that. It's a foul on Anthony Gordon, and it's going to be a free kick to Newcastle United. And here is Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes, long ball over the top. He's never going to get there, is Joe Willock. And it's straight through to the goalkeeper, Jean Garcia. And, well, we will give you the man of the match at the next stoppage in play. And it's right now, Garcia has the ball in his hands and he's not in any hurry. Finally, he launches the ball downfield. The flick is on by Torres, and it just goes straight through to Tau. Tau drops the ball back there to Botman. Botman to Guimaraes, and Guimaraes puts the ball out of play. So today's man of the match, as sponsored by Football Live, I have to give it to Marcus Rashford. He's been fantastic down the left-hand side today. A real threat to Newcastle all the way through the game. And managing to score 2 goals, including one which was an absolutely magnificent strike. So today's man of the match, as sponsored by Football Live, goes to Barcelona's number 14, Marcus Rashford. And Joe Murphy takes the throw-in. Gives it to Guimaraes and gets the ball back. Can't imagine there'd be too long in stoppages at the end of this game. And the ball just kept there by Guimaraes. Guimaraes sets off Jacob Murphy. Murphy plays it in the middle to Voltamati! Oh, it's Anthony Gordon, rather. Anthony Gordon has scored. It's a late goal for Newcastle United. And it's Anthony Gordon who got the touch. I initially thought it was Voltamati, but it's Anthony Gordon who scores. And, well, the ball across by Jacob Murphy. It was a routine finish by Gordon as he just puts the ball past Garcia and Anthony Gordon. That is a good finish by him. If there's a little bit of injury time at the end of this game, this might just give Newcastle some hope. Anthony Gordon, the scorer on that one. And the game is back underway, and we have 7 minutes of stoppage time. That may have come from the injury to Newcastle's Fabian Schär, but 7 minutes it is, and there's some time for Newcastle to perhaps get back in this game now. And they were caught flat at the back with Barcelona, but it is a free kick to Barcelona. And Pedri is going to take it. The goal by Anthony Gordon on 90 minutes. They're going to have to come forward here, are Newcastle, if they're going to get back into this game. And the ball is out of play. It's going to be a throw into Barcelona. And Pedri just being spoken to by Hansi Flick. As we have a very interesting 7 minutes in store. Taken quickly there by Garcia. Garcia crunched down. The referee has stopped play. It's a late challenge, a really late challenge by Jacob Murphy. He doesn't believe it. He's not convinced. I would like to see that one again. Let's just take a look here. Ooh. I'm not really sure what Jacob Murphy's complaining about. I mean, there was definitely connection there, whether it was accidental or otherwise, but I don't think Jacob Murphy's got anything to complain about. Final substitution for Barcelona coming up. And it is the number 17, Mark Casado. And the ball is played forward here, looking for the number 7, Ferran Torres. But that ball is out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick as the Newcastle fans screaming, hoping for just that one break where they could get themselves back in this game and tie it up. But 2-1 is a score if they left it too late. And we'll just see who's coming off. It's Fermin Lopez who is coming off. He's also had a very impressive game today. And he is coming off for Mark Casado. And well, all 5 substitutions used by both sides now. And the ball played forward. It's given away there, though, by Dan Burn. He's chasing back to win it back. Here's Pedri now for Barcelona. Pedri gets into the penalty area. Holds the ball off. Back to Rafinha. And here's the substitute, Casado. And it's back there with De Jong. Casado again. Jules Koundé. Pedri. Quick passing by Barcelona, and it's played straight to Tino Livramento. Now let's see if Newcastle can create something. Here's Anthony Gordon, scorer of the only goal for Newcastle United. Tino Livramento just wins it ahead of Casado, and now here's Anthony Gordon trying to get past Jules Koundé, which he's not been able to do all afternoon long. Jules Koundé was also very close to being named man of the match. He's been absolutely fantastic today as Jules Koundé, an honourable mention for him. And now Gordon has also taken a knock. And of course, they've used all 5 of their substitutions of Newcastle. So either he can't go off, or if he does go off, Newcastle are going to be down to 10 men. But there's not long remaining, and it is another free kick for Barcelona. Newcastle United 1, Barcelona 2. And it's taken quickly to Pedri. Pedri. He's got a few Newcastle players around him. He drops the ball back into midfield. And it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper by Casado. Cleared downfield. Picked up by Frankie de Jong. Out towards the right-hand side to Rafinha. Rafinha gets into the penalty area now. Rafinha, ball played across there, super save, and that is a really good effort from Olmo, and Nick Pope gets down and makes the save. Danny Olmo with a shot there. It's a smart save by the England goalkeeper. As we've 2 minutes left in stoppage time at the end of this game, it's Rafinha again. Drop back there. Here is Casado. Frankie de Jong, I should say. Picked up there by Casado again. Gives the ball to Jules Koundé. Koundé to de Jong. Turn in here by Torres. Takes a deflection and just over the crossbar. Once again, Ferran Torres getting a shot away there. He's been pretty dangerous since he's come on. But that one takes a deflection and goes over for a corner to Barcelona. There is 1 minute left of stoppage time at the end of this game. Olmo and Rafinha will probably play it short to each other. There's certainly no need for any rush. They do play it short. It's back to Rafinha. And Rafinha gets the ball back inside the penalty area. Rafinha with a shot. It's a comfortable save by Nick Pope, and he releases it to Tau. Tau now coming forward. He's having his shirt pulled surely there. And Casado picks up the yellow card, taking one for the team there. A yellow card. I don't think he really needed to grab him from there, to be honest, but the yellow card for Casado nevertheless. And it's a free kick inside the Newcastle half, which Nick Pope is going to take. He's going to go for the long one. We've played almost 7 minutes. This is last chance for Saloon for the Magpies now. It's played forward towards the penalty area, tries to flick that ball on, and it's won by Kunde. Kunde is not able to clear it very well. And here's Livramento, won again by Pedri. And that's it, it's full time. Barcelona come away with the victory. And have they? No, it is not full time. I am sorry. I apologise. It looked like the referee had blown full time there. I'm sorry, the game is still going on. It's a throw-in actually to Newcastle United. Level with the Barcelona penalty area. And it's going to be thrown into the penalty area, flicked on there and cleared away. Out to the edge of the area to Livramento with Tonali with a shot. And it's through to the goalkeeper. And that might well be it. It was a clean effort by Tonali, but right at Garcia as he clears the ball downfield, and that is full time that time. And Newcastle pull a goal back from Anthony Gordon, but 2 goals by Marcus Rashford in the second half, one from a header and one from a thunderous strike from outside the penalty area, have given Barcelona the first points of this Champions League run for them. They come away from St James's Park with a 2-1 victory today. Full time, Newcastle United 1, Barcelona 2. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there to Paul James for excellent commentary this evening as Barcelona beat Newcastle United on match day 1 of the league phase in the Champions League at St James's Park. 2 goals from Marcus Rashford and header from the penalty spot and a stunning finish from off the underside of the crossbar to put Barcelona 2-0 up. And first 2 goals for Rashford in a Barcelona shirt. Gordon with the goal back for Newcastle in stoppage time. Well, just as we're going into stoppage time, should I say, with Newcastle couldn't find any goals inside that 7 minutes of stoppage time this evening. Before we wrap up in around about 5 or so minutes time, let's just bring you the full-time scores from the other matches taking place this evening in the Champions League, and they're all now full-time scores now from the Champions League today. Full-times then: Club Brugge 4, Monaco 1, Copenhagen 2, Bayer Leverkusen 2, Frankfurt 5, Galatasaray 1, Man City 2, Napoli 0, Newcastle United 1, Barcelona 2, Sporting Club de Portugal or Sporting Lisbon to you and I 4, Karate Amate 1 is the Champions League match day 1 league phase results this evening for you all to do. Just before we do wrap up, just going to bring in Paul James and just ask him, Paul, for your overall thoughts tonight. Barcelona did play well, Newcastle had chances, but we'd have to say Newcastle probably were just outclassing them. 2 fantastic goals by Barcelona and Marcus Rashford, and I think Barcelona deserved the victory tonight.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. You can't argue with it. The finishing was world class. Some of the football at times was absolutely world class. All I can tell you is that when they play like that, it's a gulf in class between the two sides. Newcastle really fought hard today. They worked hard. They played hard. They did as much as they could to try to get something from this game. They had their chances, but they didn't take them. On the flip side, Barcelona didn't have that many chances until the second half when Rashford popped up with his 2. After that, for me, Newcastle United fell a bit more flat.
Yes, absolutely, Paul, absolutely. Newcastle just didn't have the quality in the final third to match Barcelona this evening, and that showed in the game time. But take nothing away from Newcastle. They put in a good performance, just lacking quality in the final third, which was Barcelona showed us this evening. But thank you very much, Paul, for your excellent commentary once again this evening, as always. Thank you to you, the listeners, for listening along to the coverage tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed our coverage tonight, and if you haven't, it's been your first time listening, please tune back in again this weekend. We've got Premier League action this weekend coming up for you on Saturday evening. 8 o'clock kickoff is Fulham against Brentford at Craven Cottage, on air from around about 7:50 for that one. Make sure you join us for that. Well, that's all we've got time for this evening. Big thank you to Paul James, your match commentator. I've been Russ Finn, the presenter and producer for this evening's match. Until next time, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. It's good night from us all here on the Commenttary Hub. See you on Saturday.